Hello everyone, and welcome back to K-Pop Exposed, the channel where we uncover the biggest stories, hidden signals, and industry shifts happening inside the world of K-pop. Paris Fashion Week has always been known as one of the most glamorous events in the global fashion industry. Every season, the city of Paris becomes the center of attention for designers, celebrities, editors, and photographers from all around the world. It is a moment when the newest collections are revealed, when trends are born, and when the fashion world pauses for a second to witness something extraordinary. But sometimes, beyond a runway shows and designer collections, there are certain moments that capture public attention even more strongly. Moments that spread rapidly across social media, moments that spark conversations among fans, and moments that make people realize how much the global entertainment landscape has changed. And during Paris Fashion Week in early 2026, one of those unforgettable moments came from a name that millions of people around the world already know very well. That name was Rose from Blackpink. The moment began when the well-known fashion magazine Grazia Singapore released its list of the best celebrity front row looks during Paris Fashion Week. Every season, magazines and fashion editors carefully observe the outfits worn by celebrities who attend these shows. The front row has always been considered one of the most prestigious places in the fashion world. It is where influential figures sit, people whose presence represent status, influence, and close relationships with luxury brands. So, when the list from Grazia Singapore was published, fans immediately began examining every name included in it. Among famous actors, supermodels, and international celebrities, there was one name that immediately stood out for many people: Rose from Blackpink. For fans of K-pop, Rose's presence at major fashion events is not something new. Over the past few years, members of Blackpink have become some of the most powerful global ambassadors for luxury fashion brands. But still, this moment felt different. The article did not simply mention Rose as a guest attending the show. Instead, it highlighted her appearance as one of the most memorable celebrity looks of the entire fashion week. As soon as the article appeared online, screenshots of the page quickly began circulating across social media platforms. Fans shared the photos on Twitter, Instagram, and various fan communities. Many people were especially fascinated by one particular image showing Rose sitting in the front row of the Saint Laurent show. In that photo, she was seated among some of the most recognizable figures in the global fashion industry, including the legendary supermodel Kate Moss and actress Zoe Kravitz. For many observers, that image carried a symbolic meaning. It showed that Rose was no longer seen simply as a K-pop idol attending a fashion event as a guest star. Instead, she was sitting alongside figures who have defined the fashion industry for decades. In other words, she had reached a level where her presence naturally belonged among the biggest names in the fashion world. To understand why this moment felt so significant, we need to look more closely at the event itself. Every year, Paris Fashion Week gathers the most powerful fashion houses, editors, celebrities, and photographers in one city. The shows that take place during this week are not just presentations of clothing. They are cultural events that influence trends, inspire creativity, and shape the future of fashion. During the early days of March 2026, one of the most anticipated shows was presented by the French fashion house Saint Laurent. The brand revealed its women's ready-to-wear fall, winter 2026 to 2027 collection. As expected, the show immediately attracted massive attention from fashion editors and media outlets across the world. The venue chosen for the show added another layer of elegance to the event. It was held inside a modern house in Paris with large windows that directly faced one of the most iconic landmarks in the world, the Eiffel Tower. As guests began arriving, photographers gathered outside the venue to capture the street-style looks of celebrities and fashion insiders. The atmosphere slowly became more intense as the start time of the show approached. Inside the venue, the lighting grew softer as guests began taking their seats. And as always during major fashion shows, the front row quickly became the center of attention. That was where Rose appeared. When she stepped into the venue, many photographers immediately began taking pictures. There was something about her look that instantly captured attention. Rose was wearing an off-shoulder green brocade mini dress from the Saint Laurent collection. At first glance, the design seemed simple, but the more people looked at it, the more details they noticed. The off-shoulder cut highlighted her elegant neckline and shoulders, giving the outfit a refined and graceful silhouette. The sleeves had a slightly puffed shape that added a subtle dramatic effect without making the dress look overwhelming. But perhaps the most striking element was the color: emerald green. In a room where many celebrities chose black or neutral tones, Rosé's dress immediately stood out. The brocade fabric reflected light softly, creating a delicate shimmer under the camera flashes. When photographed from different angles, the dress looked both luxurious and playful at the same time. The mini length added a youthful energy to the look while still maintaining the sophisticated style that Saint Laurent is known for. Her styling choices were also remarkably minimal. Rose wore very natural makeup that emphasized glowing skin and soft lips. Instead of dramatic colors or heavy contouring, the focus remained on her natural beauty. Her blonde hair flowed naturally with soft waves, creating a relaxed yet polished appearance. There were almost no excessive accessories. And somehow, that simplicity became the reason why the entire look felt so powerful. Fashion editors later explained that this balance between elegance and effortlessness was exactly what made Rosé's appearance so memorable. In its article, Grazia Singapore highlighted how Rose managed to create one of the most iconic front-row looks of the entire season. The emerald green dress became the centerpiece of her styling, and the contrast between the vibrant color and the darker outfits around her made the look even more visually striking. But beyond the aesthetics of the outfit, there was a deeper story behind this moment. Rose has been the global ambassador for Saint Laurent since 2021. Her relationship with the brand has grown stronger every year. During fashion weeks, she consistently appears wearing outfits that reflect the identity of the brand while still maintaining her own personal style. That style can often be described as elegant, slightly romantic, and occasionally touched with a subtle bohemian vibe. Because of that consistency, many fashion observers believe Rose has become one of the most influential celebrity ambassadors in the luxury fashion industry. And that is why her appearance on the Grazia Singapore list was seen by many people as something larger than just a fashion highlight. For some observers, it represented a shift in the global entertainment landscape. A K-pop idol was no longer seen simply as a music artist invited to fashion shows. Instead, she was being recognized by international fashion media as a genuine fashion icon. And interestingly, while the fashion world was talking about Rosé's glamorous moment in Paris, another story involving one of her closest friends was touching fans in a completely different way. This story was not about fashion runways or celebrity front rows. It was about friendship. And the person at the center of that story was another member of Blackpink, Lisa. Recently, during an appearance on a YouTube talk show called Catch You Tonight, singer Minnie shared a personal story that surprised many fans. The story took place many years ago, long before both artists reached their current level of global fame. At that time, Minnie was still a trainee living in South Korea. Life as a trainee can be extremely challenging. Many aspiring idols leave their home countries and spend years training in singing, dancing, and performing. They often live in small dormitories with other trainees while waiting for the possibility of debuting. And during that period, the future can feel very uncertain. One day, Lisa suddenly contacted Minnie and asked if she was free. The message sounded simple, but Minnie did not expect that this short conversation would turn into one of the warmest memories of her early career. At that time, Minnie was living in a very small trainee dormitory. She did not yet have her own apartment, and the room she stayed in had to be shared with others. When Lisa said she wanted to visit, Minnie felt a little embarrassed. She worried that the room was too small and uncomfortable for a guest. But Lisa replied in a way that surprised her. She explained that she only had about 10 minutes of free time but still wanted to stop by and bring food. Even when Minnie tried to politely decline, Lisa insisted. And eventually, she came to the dormitory. When Lisa arrived, the situation was exactly as Minnie had described. The room was extremely small. There was no table. There was barely enough space to move around. So Lisa simply sat on the floor and opened the food she had brought. Meanwhile, Minnie sat on the bed watching her, feeling slightly apologetic for the simplicity of the environment. She even asked several times if Lisa felt comfortable, But Lisa simply smiled and said, "It's okay." Those two words instantly made the atmosphere feel warm and relaxed. In that moment, it no longer mattered how small the room was. For Minnie, the visit felt incredibly meaningful. It did not feel like a celebrity stopping by. It felt like a true friend coming to check on someone she cared about. They shared the food, talked for a while, and spent a few quiet minutes together. And even though the visit was short, the memory remained with Minnie for years. Later, during the interview, Minnie revealed that during that period she often felt exhausted and uncertain about her future. Being a trainee can be emotionally difficult. Many people train for years without knowing if they will ever debut. At one point, Minnie admitted that she shared her worries with Lisa. She told her that she felt tired and unsure about when her trainee period would finally end. Lisa listened carefully, and then she gave a piece of advice that Minnie says she still remembers today. Lisa said that the best thing to do was focus only on what could be controlled. Work hard on training, improve skills, do the best with what is in your hands. And for things that cannot be controlled, such as company decisions or future outcomes, it is better not to worry too much. Those words may sound simple, but at that moment they meant a lot, because they came from someone who had experienced the same struggle. Lisa herself had gone through a long and difficult trainee period before debuting and eventually becoming one of the most famous idols in the world. When Minnie shared this story during the interview, many fans were deeply touched. Clips of the moment quickly spread across social media. Fans said the story revealed a side of Lisa that people rarely see. Behind the global superstar image, she is still someone who values friendship deeply. Even with a busy schedule, she still makes time to support the people around her. For many fans, the story also became a reminder of how difficult the journey to success can be. Before standing on global stages, many idols once lived in small dorm rooms, trained for countless hours, and faced enormous uncertainty about their future. Moments like sitting on the floor and sharing food might seem simple, but sometimes those are the memories that remain the most meaningful. And that small story ultimately became another reason why many people admire Lisa, not only as an artist, but also as a person. Now, we would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think makes stories of friendship like this so special for fans? Do you believe that simple moments, like sharing food with a friend, can sometimes feel more meaningful than all the luxury and glamour of the entertainment world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, because your conversations are what keep stories like this alive.